And you mentioned, and it was interesting, you were talking about being really healthy, bouncy baby, so but you also had a lot
I have this phrase, I didn't have a childhood, I had a hostage situation. A hostage negotiation.
So would you, in terms of actually, is that a motivation? In terms of people that you know, was your situation unusual compared to most other people's general disagreements with their family or not?
Well, I'd say we were dysfunctional to a pretty extreme level.
Was that a motivation force for leaving, or?
Well, yeah, because I finally escaped it. You know, I succeeded. I, you know, brought my youthful self out of the forest into this wondrous vacation spot.
How's it been then? How many years ago have you been here now?
I got here in 2000.
So you've been here, and how's it going so far?
Not bad. It's getting interesting.
So this is working out to be, are you working?
Kinda. I'm doing some volunteer stuff at the drop-in center. There's a couple of projects I'd like to see get going. One of them is like a tinker group where all the, you know, the techie people get together and hang out and talk about their psychoses and, you know, how they feel redundant and useless, and find support for themselves, and then maybe actually start doing stuff together.
So
Then there's video group, which this will be an introduction to of some sort. It would be also cool because I figured the disenfranchised welfare people, you know, sitting around doing nothing anyway, why don't they just like document some of the interesting things in their lives, you know, like personal stuff that you'd never hear in like a formal discussion. So I'd like to see a video group like that happen. Electronic salvage, build your own computer, how to, you know, all these little mini how-tos that we can do videos of, you know, like this is how to set up your web page, you know. And then start producing like DVDs of that kind of concept and sell them for like $5 or something. How everything that you wanted to know about the web but were afraid to ask, you know. How to fix your own car. True handyman's guide to ultimate.
See, an awful lot of ideas actually, so you sort of,
oh, it sounds like
there's a lot of, are you being able to activate a lot of these ideas, a lot of support from the community?
Well, we've got a firm sign-up sheet pretty much ready to go. We're still firming up the start date. We were going to go for the 1st of February, but it might happen the first or second week. But, you know, it's like the first step. We've got something on paper. This is like an outline of what you can do. And, like, I also want to turn it into sort of a disclaimer thing where it's, like, what to expect in terms of royalties if we ever get paid for doing this, that kind of thing. Discretion on what kind of information we reveal on it. And, like, nobody wants to die on TV.
What do you mean?
Well, you end up on TV, people find your name and then decide they have a problem with you and then track you down and then become high maintenance about it.
Well, this is where the editing process would be very interesting, which is, yeah. So you've mentioned psychosis and people working with psychosis. Are you yourself a doctor?
No, I'm a patient.
So you yourself have a psychotic?
I've been termed borderline psychotic, which means I could crack it any second. And I have a whole bunch of tips and tricks that I use to keep me going from day to day. You know, and it's not anything that can be taught formally, it's implied.
With respect to your own personal health, do you find a lot of support within the community that in this the resources here that you could go to for help, or is it irrelevant whether there are any resources here in the town or no resources, or the fact that this town happens to provide resources?
Well, it's interesting because one of the guys that works there, Steve, is sort of like the manager of the place, and we're having issues with connectivity. All the computers that we're getting donated, we're getting like maybe half the connections working. And I know it's an issue with the cable modem, and like it's been obvious since day one, what they need is to have a cable modem server, right? That like streamlines all that crap. And I bounced it off the guys in day one, Steve, and he's like, "Oh no, we'll figure it out. Don't worry." You know, and like frustration and feeling stymied and not able to get anything done. You know.
So you seem like extraordinarily
Okay,
hyper
like the
bright.
resources are there, the location's there, but like something isn't happening. People are like too afraid to get to engage.
Where's the disconnect, do you think?
Technophobia. Way here much more than compared to Brockville, Ontario. You know, I'm like in Brockville, you don't see people like bashing up their TV and leaving it in the middle of the bush. You know.
Okay, you guys, it's been 11 minutes.
Yeah, we can go maybe, I mean, in terms of editing on just...
Yeah, no,
spread
but I
around.
was just going to let you know what I've forgotten.
That's great.
Okay,
So how do you
at
change
the fairly close to the beginning.
In
Yeah.
and out, the stopper.
So I just push it and leave my fingers off it.
Yep. Okay, on the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's the words REC on it.
REC, that's record.
Right, because it's recording right now. Now, if you hit the red,
Do I have to push the red button
pause it, yes.
to pause it? So it's running now.
It's running now.
So how come I see you in black and white and you see you in color?
Because it's a color display on the panel, and ours is just black and white.
Oh.
So it's recording in color.
So I've got more of you. So I'm going to interview Mark. Got to find Mark.
What are you interviewing me about?
I don't know, whatever comes up.
Why am I here?
Why are you here? To be interviewed, and you're to help other people in some way, in any way you may feel you can offer to us. Were you born in Fall River?
No.
Where were you born?
Born in Westminster.
Okay. And is your family here in Fall River?
Yeah, actually most of them are, except for a sister and nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews. And did you have a nice Christmas?
It was very pleasant.
Were your family with
Did
you?
you have a nice Christmas?
Did I have a nice Christmas? I had a very nice Christmas with my family around. Were your family around?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I have a new generation to the family, so Christmas was very interesting.
Yes.
Focusing around the next generation.
And do you work?
No, I'm not working now.
You're not working now. Did you have a career in any area?
Did I have a career in any area?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had. I used to work with the airlines for over 20 years.
Did you fly?
Did I? No, I worked on the ground in sales.
Did you sell airplanes?
No, actually, I did a number of things for the airlines, including reservations, and I did tariffs and costing and payroll control and what was called inside marketing.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting actually.
Did you travel?
Traveled quite a bit.
Whereabouts did you travel to? Any interesting places?